Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today's the 21st of February 2024 and guys, Ethereum is definitely pumping up to the moon, and if you look at the total value locked across all DeFi protocols, it is definitely on an incline, isn't it? So in today's episode, we'll very briefly touch base on what is going on in Ethereum, and guys, the price of Ethereum has crossed the $3,000 mark. So it looks like Ethereum is definitely heading towards the moon, so we'll definitely go ahead and explore that. Now we have two international news, guys, and the first one is from Turkey, and there is a report which is published that talks about the first phase of central bank digital currency. Now look, guys, when you talk about Turkey, there was a report which was published, I believe around 2021, where it was one of the leading countries so far as metaverse is concerned, and Turkey as such has definitely been very proactive in the world of cryptocurrencies. Now regarding central bank digital currency, they have been advocates of CBDCs as well, and there was a pilot project which kicked off somewhere during 2020. So we'll go ahead and very briefly touch base on the report that is published that talks about the first phase of central bank digital currency. And the second news, guys, has to do with Hong Kong, and the Hong Kong Monetary Authority have issued two letters that talks about tokenization, and these letters, guys, are more catered toward authorized institutions, also called as AI. So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on what that letter is. Now look, guys, ever since Larry Fink made a teeny tiny comment about tokenization, the word tokenization is definitely buzzing in the cryptocurrency world, and to be honest, guys, so far as tokenization is concerned, there is definitely some strong legitimacy to it as well. So we'll definitely go ahead and briefly discuss what the two letters are. And finally, guys, we have some news from Binance, and unfortunately it looks like Binance is not having the best year in 2024 as well, and this, to be honest, is a negative news. And the news essentially is that Binance is shutting down multiple leverage token services. So definitely unfortunate news, I guess. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news has to do with events that I'm conducting in the month of March. And both the events, guys, are taking place on the 15th of March. So in today's episode, I'll go ahead and briefly explain what is it that you can expect in that session. Now the first session, guys, has to do with Metaverse. And the session is called as Metaverse, the Hype, Reality and New World Order. And in today's episode, I'll go ahead and share what is it that you can expect in that session. The second session, guys, to be honest, is one of my favorite, and it is called as Pestellar Analysis on Bitcoin. And the acronym Pestellar stands for Political, Economical, Social, Technological, Legal, Environmental, and Religious Analysis on Bitcoin. And guys, if you've done your Master's or MBA, you would know what Pestellar Analysis stands for. And you can do Pestellar Analysis, let's say, for stable coins. You can do it for Metaverse as well. You can do it for central bank digital currency and pretty much for absolutely anything. And maybe in the near future, I'll try to do Pestellar Analysis, let's say, on artificial intelligence as well. Now, if you do want to go out and sponsor any of these sessions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. So quite a lot to cover, guys, in today's episode. So let's kick start with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us. From the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies, we'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee a Day, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast.
it is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now the global cryptocurrency market is at $1.98 trillion, but since the last 24 hours, it is marginally pumped up by 0.79%. And guys, if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume since the last 24 hours, it is at $88.82 billion. Now these numbers, guys, definitely reflect the numbers that was during the 2020 era, isn't it? Where Bitcoin reached a new all-time high. So we can confidently state, at least at this point of time, that we are definitely heading towards a bullish market. And if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, since the last 24 hours, it is up by 26.02%. And if you look at the volume in DeFi, guys, it is only at $6.87 billion. And DeFi is accounting for 7.74% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And guys, listen, I've been noticing this trend that the total value locked is on an incline, and as of today it is at $76.89 billion. Now listen guys, it's really important to note that only the total value locked is on an incline. Rest all the matrix regarding DeFi is absolutely the same, and the answer is pretty simple guys. It is only because of anticipation of an Ethereum spot ETF now, isn't it? And so far as the dominance of total value locked is concerned, Lido is dominating with 29.64%, and if you look at the decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, it is at 16.51%. And guys, listen, I've been noticing this trend for almost 6 months now, that the decentralized to centralized exchange dominance usually picks up pace on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I really am not sure what is the notorious activities going on among decentralized exchanges. I'm hoping we do not find out absolutely any negative news, particularly in the world of decentralized exchanges. Now let me very quickly run through the volume on decentralized exchanges, because Uniswap is leading the pack, and its volume is $1.23 billion, followed by PancakeSwap, and its volume is well over the $500 million mark at $570.3 million. Orca, guys, is at number 3rd, and its volume is $304.28 million. Core Finance is at number 4th, and its volume is $239.66 million. And finally, guys, Radium, its volume is $198.82 million. Now, guys, let me very quickly run through the volume of stablecoins, because along with the cryptocurrency market volume, the volume of stablecoin has definitely increased quite a lot. Now, listen, guys, unfortunately, I hate saying this, the volume in the cryptocurrency world is largely driven because of stablecoins. And yesterday, guys, in my episode, I mentioned Charles Hoskinson was definitely not happy about it. And to be honest, guys, I don't like that either, because when you talk about stable coins, they definitely do not follow the ethos of open blockchain, isn't it? Ideally, the transactions should be in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, but if you look at it from a different perspective, why would you want to use Bitcoin or Ethereum or let's say other cryptocurrencies when the price is fluctuating so much, isn't it? It makes more sense to go ahead and use a rather more centralized form of money, which is relatively stable, and that's where stablecoin kicks in. But look guys, in an idealistic world, these stablecoins should be replaced by algorithmically backed stablecoins. Now if the algorithmically backed stablecoins are definitely on an incline, that would be a good indication. Unfortunately, because of the collapse of Terra Luna, people have become massive detractors of algorithmically backed stablecoins, isn't it? Hopefully, with the use of artificial intelligence, we might be able to come up with the stablecoins that is not managed by centralized authority, let's say by Tether USDT or even Circle USDC for that matter. When will this thing happen, guys? I wouldn't be surprised if we are able to do that in less than 3 years. So let's see if there is some artificial intelligence platform that is able to deliver that. Now going back to the volume of stablecoins, guys, it is at $80.62 billion, and it is accounting for 90.77% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And out of this $80.62 billion, Tether USDT is accounting for $64.94 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $7.35 billion, and True USD, guys, its volume is $113 million. And going back to the points of Charles Hoskinson, guys, look at the 24-hour cryptocurrency market volume. It is $88.82 billion, and out of this $88.82 billion, stablecoins is accounting for $80.62 billion. Definitely not right, isn't it? Now, guys, let's quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin's market cap is well over the $1 trillion mark, and it is at $1.02 trillion. But if you look at the market cap of Ethereum, guys, since the last few days, it is gradually increasing. And if you actually look at the percentage of increase, guys, just since the last, let's say, 4 to 5 days, the percentage of increase of Ethereum is definitely higher and significantly higher than Bitcoin's increase. And if you look at the 24-hour trading volume as well, Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $19.6 billion, whereas Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $32.3 billion. Now look guys, before BlackRock getting into the spot Bitcoin ETF game, on an average given day, the 24-hour trading volume of Ethereum used to be 1/3 of that of Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume. But as and when we found out more information regarding BlackRock getting into the Ethereum spot ETF game, the 24-hour trading volume of Ethereum used to be around the 50% mark of that of Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume. But now since the last few months, to be honest guys, the percentage is getting closer to that of Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume. And guys, in the episode that I released on Monday, I definitely found out that the 24-hour trading volume of Ethereum was higher than that of the 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin as well. So it looks like there is a lot of interest going on, particularly in the world of Ethereum, isn't it? And guys, if you look at the dominance of Bitcoin, it has actually gone down since the last few days, and today it is at 51.59%, whereas Ethereum's dominance has actually pumped up, and it is at 18.20%. Now guys, in today's episode, let me very quickly run through the market cap of interoperability protocol, and the first one guys is Quant, and its market cap is only at $1.32 billion. If you look at it at a macro level guys, this is absolutely minuscule, isn't it? Ideally, it should have been $10 billion, maybe $50 billion. Those are my honest thoughts, to be honest. The second one is XLR, and its market cap is merely $744 million. The third one, guys, is Threshold Network, and its market cap is $284 million. At number 4, guys, is Seller Network, and its volume is $176 million. And finally, Synapse, its market cap is only at $143 million. Now look guys, the market cap of $143 million for the number 5th interoperability protocol is absolutely scary and ridiculously low, to be honest. Ideally, the number 5th itself should have been somewhere between the $5 to $10 billion range. So to be honest guys, I'm really worried about these numbers. Looks like a lot of people are not using interoperability protocols, isn't it? Or the other way of looking at it is maybe there is a massive opportunity in this field. Now guys, in today's episode, I'm going to do something different, because since the last few days, there is a new AI platform which is released by Google, and that has been making quite a lot of news, isn't it? And it is called as Gemini. So what I'm going to be doing next is guys, I'm going to be using Gemini, and I'm going to be using ChatGPT as well. So what I thought of doing guys is, I'm going to be using the same prompt for Google's Gemini and exactly the same prompt for ChatGPT, and let's see what is the difference. So what I'm going to be doing guys is, I'm going to be asking Google's Gemini to give out the key difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin, and let's see what is it that they come up with. And then let's compare it to what ChatGPT says. Now I wouldn't be surprised if 90% of the information is the same. So what I'm going to be doing first guys is, I'm going to be typing in, can you write the key difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin in Gemini? I'm going to be using the same prompt in ChatGPT, and let's see the difference between both of them, okay? So let's see what is it that Gemini throws out regarding the key difference between Ethereum and blockchain. So let me go ahead and read it out what it says. So Gemini guys is focusing on core areas, that is the purpose, technology, tokenomics, applications, transaction fees, investment potential, overall, and finally disclaimer. So let me go ahead and read out this information first, and let's see later on what ChatGPT says, and then you can go ahead and make your own decision on which platform you prefer to use. Now so far as Gemini is concerned, it is talking about the key differences between Ethereum and Bitcoin, and it says that while both parties are prominent cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum serve distinct purposes and operate differently, and here's a breakdown of the key differences regarding purpose. What Google's Gemini says, Bitcoin is designed as a digital cash system and a store of value like digital gold. Its primary function is to be an alternative to traditional currencies. And so far as Ethereum is concerned, what Gemini is saying is that it acts as a decentralized platform for creating and utilizing smart contracts and decentralized apps. And it goes beyond just creating, enabling various applications built on blockchain. The second point it talks about is technology. And what Gemini says is that Bitcoin uses proof of work consensus mechanism for transaction validating, which requires significant energy consumption, and its blockchain is primarily focused on processing transactions, whereas regarding Ethereum, what Gemini says that it currently uses proof of stake consensus mechanism, which is less energy intensive than proof of work, and is transitioning to a proof of stake consensus mechanism that promises scalability and efficiency improvement, and its blockchain supports smart contract and decentralized apps alongside transactions. So it looks like guys, Gemini is not taking information right till the current time as well, similar to ChatGPT, isn't it? Now, so far as tokenomics is concerned, what Gemini is saying is that Bitcoin has a finite supply of 21 million coins, making it deflationary, and new coins can be created through mining with a fixed halving schedule that gradually reduces the reward over time. And regarding Ethereum, what Gemini is saying that it has a variable supply, currently with an inflation rate aimed at keeping it around 1 to 2%, and new coins are created through staking, and the issuance rate can be adjusted based on network needs. And regarding applications, what Gemini is saying is that Bitcoin is primarily used for peer-to-peer transactions and as a store of value. Its adoption as a payment method is growing, but transaction fees can be high and processing times can be slow. Regarding Ethereum, guys, what Gemini says is that it powers a wide range of decentralized apps in various sectors like DeFi, supply chain management, gaming, and NFTs. And what it is also saying is that many see Ethereum as having broader use cases beyond money. Now, regarding transaction fees, guys, what Gemini is saying is that Bitcoin transaction fees can be high and fluctuate depending on network congestion. Regarding Ethereum, transaction fees can be high due to network demand, but are generally lower than Bitcoin. And finally, guys, regarding investment potential, what Gemini is saying regarding Bitcoin that it is considered a more established cryptocurrency with limited supply, potentially attracting investors seeking a hedge against inflation or a long-term store of value. But regarding Ethereum, it says that it is viewed as a platform with significant potential for innovation and adoption across various industries, thereby attracting investors interested in its growth potential and the development of its ecosystem. So overall, guys, what Gemini is saying is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are both influential cryptocurrencies, but they cater to distinctive needs and have distinct technical characteristics, and choosing between them depends on your specific goals and investment preferences. And they also have something called as disclaimer, so let me read it out word for word what Gemini says. What it is actually stating is that this information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Please do your own research before making any investment decisions. Now, this is what Gemini gave, guys. When I use the prompt, can you type key difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin? Now let's see what ChatGPT says, and I wouldn't be surprised, guys, to be honest, if 90% of the information is exactly the same. So let's see what ChatGPT says. Now, ChatGPT, guys, is focusing on 6 core areas. The first one is purpose and functionality. The second one is blockchain technology. The third one is smart contracts. The fourth one is consensus mechanism. The fifth one is supply cap. And finally, guys, the sixth one is community development. So let me go ahead and read it out what ChatGPT says. Now, regarding the key difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin, so far as purpose and functionality is concerned, ChatGPT is saying is that Bitcoin was created as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, primarily for financial transactions and a store of value. Regarding Ethereum, it says that Ethereum was designed as a decentralized platform for smart contracts and decentralized applications, that run exactly as programmed without any possibility of downtime, censorship, fraud, or third-party interference. Now, regarding blockchain technology, what ChatGPT says, so far as Bitcoin is concerned, it utilizes blockchain technology to maintain a decentralized ledger for all transactions, and it focuses on recording and verifying ownership and transfers of its native digital currency called as BTC. Regarding Ethereum, what it says is that Ethereum also deploys blockchain technology, but with a more versatile and programmable approach, and it allows developers to build and deploy smart contracts and decentralized apps on its blockchain. Now, the third one, guys, of our smart contracts is concerned, what ChatGPT is saying is that Ethereum introduced the concept of smart contracts, which are self-executing smart contracts with the terms of the agreement directly written into code. And these smart contracts automatically enforce and execute themselves when predefined conditions are met. And regarding Bitcoin, so our smart contract is concerned, what it is saying is that Bitcoin scripting language is more limited and primarily focused on transaction validation and simple scripting capabilities. Now, regarding consensus mechanism, guys, what ChatGPT is saying is that Bitcoin primarily relies on proof-of-work consensus mechanism, where miners compete to solve complex mathematical puzzles to validate transactions and create new blocks. But regarding Ethereum, guys, what ChatGPT is saying is that Ethereum has been transitioning from proof-of-work to proof-of-stake consensus mechanism with its Ethereum 2.0 upgrade, and it further states that proof-of-work relies on validators who are chosen to create new blocks and validate transactions based on the amount of cryptocurrency they hold and are willing to stake as collateral. Now, regarding the supply cap, guys, what ChatGPT says is that Bitcoin has a cap supply of 21 million coins, which makes it a deflationary asset, and this limited supply is programmed into its protocol. But regarding Ethereum, what ChatGPT is saying is that Ethereum does not have a cap supply. while there are currently no set limit of the total number of feet that can exist, there are discussions within the Ethereum community about potential changes to the issuance rate and supply cap. And finally, guys, regarding community and development, what ChatGPT is saying is that both Bitcoin and Ethereum have vibrant communities and active development system. However, Ethereum's community is particularly focused on innovation in smart contracts, decentralized finance, and other blockchain applications beyond just cryptocurrency. So these are some of the fundamental differences, guys, between Ethereum and Bitcoin, and you can make your own decision whether you prefer Google's Gemini or ChatGPT. Me personally, guys, I'm tending to like both of them, and it's going to be really interesting to see who turns out to be the leader in the near future. To be honest, guys, my slight preference is towards ChatGPT, and the only reason being I've been using it for a very long time. But listen, guys, I wouldn't be surprised, let's say in 3 to 5 years down the line, there might be a completely new player in the market so far as artificial intelligence is concerned. Now let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Do you prefer to use ChatGPT or do you prefer to use Google's Gemini? Mention them in the comments below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin, guys, right now is $52,321. Now, just a few hours ago, guys, the price did actually cross the $53,000 mark. Then it actually fell down to $51,000 mark, but looks like it is on an incline right now. And if you look at it since the last 24 hours, it is actually up by 0.95%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 5.31%. Ethereum, guys, has crossed the $3,000 mark once again. And to be honest, guys, this just might be the second time it has crossed the $3,000 mark after reaching a new all-time high that crossed the $4,000 mark. Now, with BlackRock getting into the spot Ethereum world, I wouldn't be surprised if the price of Ethereum crosses the $4,000, maybe even the $10,000 mark. Because look, Larry Fink did actually make a really powerful statement regarding tokenization. And I wouldn't be surprised, guys, let's say in the next coming months, next coming years, we'll be seeing quite a lot of projects talking about tokenization. And when you talk about tokenization, it is mostly going to be built, let's say, on Ethereum, isn't it? I don't think a lot of tokenization platforms will be built, let's say, on Solana or on Binance BNB chain, at least not in comparison to Ethereum. Now, so far as the price of Ethereum is concerned, since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.82%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 14.36%. And Binance BNB coin, guys, it is strong at number 3rd and has definitely overtaken Solana's market cap by a massive margin, and the price of Binance BNB coin is $353, but since the last 24 hours it has actually gone down by 0.27%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 8.67%. Now look, guys, Ethereum has definitely seen quite a lot of interest, particularly from a lot of institutional investors as well, and the answer is pretty simple, guys. Approval from US Securities and Exchange Commission could actually enhance Ethereum's attractiveness to conservative institutional investors, and the key date that you need to keep a track on is the 23rd of May 2024. But let's answer this big question, guys. Do you think Ethereum's market cap will actually flip Bitcoin's market cap? Is there a possibility? Truth be told, guys, ever since the London hard fork upgrade kicked in, where the burning mechanism was implemented, I was under the impression that Ethereum will definitely surpass Bitcoin so far as market cap is concerned. Unfortunately, that has not happened, but I wouldn't be surprised, let's say in the next coming years, the market cap of Ethereum will actually surpass Bitcoin's market cap, but not necessarily the price of it. I wouldn't be surprised if the price of Bitcoin is almost 3x, maybe even 10x of Ethereum. Now, guys, let's discuss some news all the way from Turkey. And the Central Bank of the Republic of Turkey, also called a CBRT, recently unveiled an English translation of its report, and they were evaluating the initial stages of a central bank digital Turkish Lira research and development project aimed at crafting a central bank digital currency. Now listen, guys, it's really important to note that the original report was published in Turkey last year, and the translation report was only released this year on the 19th of February, and the digital Turkish Lira was designed as an intermediated retail central bank digital currency. And guys, listen, it's really important to note that there are different types of CBDCs. You have retail CBDC that regular people like you and me can use, let's say at a grocery store or even at a shopping mall. Then you have wholesale CBDCs that are primarily going to be used by different financial institutions and in the banking industry. And finally, you have MCBDC that is more for cross-country transactions, that is more for international settlements. Now, regarding this report, guys, what the report states is that the inaugural phase of the project focused on several key components, including the digital identity system, digital currency system, abstraction layer, service layer, and wallet as well. Notably, guys, the abstraction layer was designed to facilitate system modularity, and this report also has some bits and pieces of information that commencing in 2021, the first phase of the project saw the CBRT conducting its initial trial transaction with the digital Turkish Lira in 2022. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in the show notes below, there is the official report, and please feel free to go and read it out. Now, guys, let's discuss some news all the way from Hong Kong. And the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has issued letters to authorized institutions, also called as AIs, and they did that on the 20th of February. And this letter, guys, is regarding tokenization and the custody of digital assets. Now, in one letter, guys, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has outlined standards for custody of customer assets, aligning with international practices, applicable regardless of whether authorized institutions offer standalone services or engage in other activities. And the second letter, guys, addresses the sale of distribution of tokenized products not regulated under the Securities and Future Ordinance, and they are strongly emphasizing compliance outside the Securities and Future Commission requirements. Now listen, guys, it is definitely important to go through these letters, and it is in the show notes below. And overall, guys, the letters do aim to provide guidance on managing digital asset custody and tokenized product offering within Hong Kong's regulatory framework. And guys, listen, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority is supportive of authorized institutions, initiatives and tokenizations, and is encouraged by the progress the industry had made thus far. So look, guys, I'm definitely seeing quite a lot of news regarding tokenization, and I'm really curious to check how will Dubai's VARA, that is Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, will be reacting to tokenization. I wouldn't be surprised in the next coming weeks or months we might get some update regarding tokenization. Now, guys, let's discuss some unfortunate news, and that is in the world of Binance. And Binance has announced a decision to end support for leverage tokens that are paired with Tether USDT. Now, the official link via Binance website is in the show notes below, and the leverage tokens affected include BTCUP and BTC down, ETH up and ETH down, and BNP up and BMT down. And as Binance conducts regular reviews of these product offerings, guys, they want to focus on products that can provide users with the most valued and competitive services. But look, guys, Binance has definitely taken the move in order to go and fulfill certain regulation criteria as well as in it. So it looks like guys, regulations is definitely impacting the world of Binance, particularly in 2024 as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the future of Binance Leverage Token or BLVT is. So those were the news, guys, in the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news, guys, has to do with an event that I'm conducting, and both the events are taking place on the 15th of March 2024. Now the first event, guys, is called as Metaverse, the Hype Reality and New World Order, and it takes place from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. Now look, guys, if you want to go ahead and register for this session, it is completely free, of course. Just drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Alternatively, guys, you can go to eventbrite.com and just sign up for the event. It's pretty simple as that. Now what I want to do, guys, in that session, I want to go ahead and educate the general mass on the hype surrounding Metaverse. So we'll go ahead and understand what Metaverse is and its impact. We'll also go ahead and discuss massive institutions and companies joining on board. And yesterday, guys, in my Crypto and Coffee Day podcast, I did actually mention that Forbes has decided to make a permanent stay in the Metaverse as well. So it looks like a lot of old school magazines are also making a permanent stay in the Metaverse. We'll also go ahead and discuss expectation versus reality. We'll go ahead and explore hardware and software limitations of Metaverse. And we'll also go ahead and discuss real life use cases. Now look, as the very first episode that are released on Metaverse, I very specifically mentioned about semiconductors and nanochips, and the company that I talked about was Nvidia back then. And fast forward to now, Nvidia is one of the rising companies in the world, and it is on the verge of becoming a top 5 companies of all time as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the future of semiconductor is, what the future of nanochips is, keeping in mind the Metaverse sphere. And guys, listen, in the very first episode that are released, I did talk about the New World Order, and Joe Biden, guys, he did actually put out an official statement via the White House website where he did actually mention about New World Order, and he talked about that in terms of semiconductor and nanochips. Now, so far as Metaverse is concerned, will the USA have a competitive edge, or will it be other countries that would be leading the Metaverse? And I'll go ahead and explore and give suggestions. What is it that countries can do to be an early adopter in the Metaverse? Now, the session, guys, essentially is broken down into 3 parts. In part A, we go ahead and discuss the history of Metaverse. Then we'll also look at what exactly is the Metaverse. And look, guys, I can't stress this enough. When you're talking about experiences in the Metaverse, it has to be 10 times better than what we are currently experiencing. Just switching current existing systems into the Metaverse will not cut it. user experience has to be 10 times better. And what are the core areas that you need to focus on in order to have a successful metaverse experience? We'll definitely go ahead and look at that. And in part A, we'll also go ahead and discuss the hype surrounding metaverse. Unfortunately, guys, the hype of metaverse has completely died down. And I very specifically remember the moment Facebook changed its name from Facebook to Meta, people in LinkedIn became experts overnight in metaverse. Unfortunately, the hype regarding metaverse has died down. And in 2023, guys, there was a report which was published stating that over 90% of investors did actually lose their money in the metaverse arena. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore that. And then we'll also go ahead and discuss the hardware and software that is required in metaverse. And just in the month of February, guys, Apple did go ahead and launch a new device called as Apple Vision Pro. Unfortunately, it looks like the response wasn't that great. Now you also need to remember this is a completely new device that Apple has gone ahead and launched in more than a decade. Now imagine, guys, Apple getting into metaverse. Technically, they say it's virtual reality. That is a massive deal as well. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss the hardware and software in the metaverse. And we'll also have a look at the Meta Quest 3 headset and quite a lot of others as well. And in part B, guys, which is my favorite, I'm going to be discussing areas where metaverse merges with the physical world. And do we actually require any connection with the physical world? We'll go ahead and explore if blockchain is needed in the metaverse. Now look, guys, I'm a massive advocate of Bitcoin, cryptocurrency and blockchain. Unfortunately, understanding the blockchain trilemma problem is really critical. And can blockchain projects withstand the TPS or transaction per second in the metaverse? We'll definitely go ahead and look at that. Now listen, guys, I'm a massive advocate of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, I hate saying this, but central bank digital currency may be an ideal form of payment, may be an ideal form of medium of exchange in the metaverse. Because look, guys, we need to think about user experience. The last thing you would want, let's say someone wearing a virtual reality headset, trying to go ahead and copy paste the private key and public key. It will be an absolute mess in the metaverse. Now you can have better user experience, and unfortunately, as much as I hate saying this, a 10x better user experience will be possible only with a centralized metaverse. So my big question to you guys is, let's say if Apple releases a metaverse project, or if a distributed form of metaverse is going to be launched, which would have a better user experience? I'm pretty much sure you know the answer to that. So we'll definitely go ahead and look at that. And we'll also go ahead and discuss what role does NFTs or non-fungible tokens would play in the metaverse, and is it possible to have an AI created metaverse, maybe an AI enabled NFT, maybe an avatar which is in the form of, let's say, NFT, which is connected to artificial intelligence, let's say ChatGPT 4, and that could potentially offer 10x better user experiences in it. So we'll definitely go ahead and look at that. And finally, guys, in part C, I'm going to be focusing more on Dubai, and I'm going to be discussing Dubai Metaverse strategy. Now look, guys, I do have a standalone episode talking about Dubai Metaverse strategy. We go ahead and discuss what the Dubai Metaverse strategy is, what is the city's vision so far as Metaverse is concerned. We go ahead and explore the Dubai Metaverse Assembly and quite a lot more. We'll also go ahead and discuss the legal body governing Metaverse, and I'll also go ahead and share some networking tips, and this is more to do with Dubai as a city so far as Metaverse is concerned. And guys, listen, the session is completely free of cost, and if you do want to go ahead and sponsor this session, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now guys, let me go ahead and talk about the second news that is taking place, and that also takes place on the 15th of March, and it is called a special hour analysis on Bitcoin. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, the acronym stands for political, economical, social, technological, legal, environmental, and religious analysis on Bitcoin. And this session takes place on the 15th of March from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. And listen, guys, if you've done your master's or MBA, you would know that pestellar analysis is essentially a tool that can be used to gain a macro level picture of an industry or a new technology, and it helps us to form an impression of the factors that might impact a new business or industry. So in the session that takes place on the 15th, we will go ahead and discuss each area in detail to better understand the impact of pestellar analysis on Bitcoin. Now regarding political factors, guys, we will answer this basic question: is Bitcoin apolitical? Now look, guys, in an idealistic world, Bitcoin should be apolitical, isn't it? And the whole intention of Satoshi Nakamoto to go ahead and create Bitcoin was separation of money and the state. Now when will that thing happen, or really, I'm not sure, guys, but we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that. Now from a political point of view, we'll go ahead and discuss right-wing ideologies and politicians in favor of Bitcoin, or left-wing ideologies who are in favor or in support of Bitcoin. Now listen, guys, the answer to that is absolutely crystal clear. left-leaning ideologies, extreme left-leaning presidents are definitely not in favor of Bitcoin. They're definitely not in favor of open source, definitely not in favor of freedom of speech. They're definitely focused on being woke, and they're focusing on cancel culture. Right-wing ideologies, right-wing politicians are definitely in favor of Bitcoin. They're definitely in favor of open source, definitely in favor of freedom of speech. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss the political aspects of Bitcoin in US, UK, India, United Arab Emirates, Australia, Singapore and other countries as well. And I'll go ahead and try to give a macro level snapshots of how politics is concerned in the world of Bitcoin. The second is economical factors, guys. We'll go ahead and answer this basic question. Is Bitcoin the biggest global wealth redistribution? And can Bitcoin actually change the dynamics of money? We'll go ahead and look at the inflation. We'll go ahead and look at the exchange rate. Now, as much as I hate saying this, guys, unfortunately, Bitcoin, at least for now, has not turned out to be a safe haven so far as inflation is concerned. And even during times of war, Bitcoin has not turned out to be a safe haven. But let's say if there's World War III and if there is nuclear war, what role do you think Bitcoin will play? We'll definitely go ahead and look at that, and I'll go ahead and share my thoughts and opinion on it. Now, regarding social factors, guys, we'll go ahead and discuss the social impact of Bitcoin and blockchains for generations to come. What I'll also go ahead and share, guys, is some numbers as to Bitcoin's adoption and usage in underdeveloped countries versus developed countries. Now, look, guys, as much as I hate saying this, the fact is, rich people have gotten richer. Millionaires have turned out to be multimillionaires. Billionaires like Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy have turned out to be multi-billionaires because of Bitcoin, isn't it? So I'll go ahead and share my thoughts and opinion on that. Now, regarding technological factors, guys, I'll go ahead and discuss the user experience of Bitcoin. We'll go ahead and look at the different forks of Bitcoin. And lately, there's so much of drama going on in the world of ordinals, right? So we'll go ahead and look at some technical aspects of Bitcoin. Now, mind you, guys, the session is going to be really easy, and you do not need absolutely any technical information. Even an 8-year-old will truly understand some of the technical aspects of Bitcoin. Now, in the technical aspects, guys, we'll also go ahead and look at economies of scale so far as Bitcoin mining is concerned, and I'll briefly go ahead and explain how Bitcoin mining works. The next section, guys, is regarding legal, and I'll answer this basic question, guys. Is Bitcoin legal? And where does governance, regulations, and legislations fit in? And what is it that governments can do in order to support innovation and support for Bitcoin? And is it a good idea to make Bitcoin a legal tender, or should we just leave Bitcoin growth completely organic? I'll share my thoughts and opinion on it. Now, regarding environmental factors, guys, we'll go ahead and explore the Bitcoin mining energy consumption, and we'll go ahead and look at the past, the current, and the future state of environmental impact on Bitcoin. Now, look, guys, BlackRock getting into Bitcoin is a massive deal. And this whole notion about ESG is only driven because of BlackRock, isn't it? Now, BlackRock is such a powerful entity. I'll go ahead and share. Could it be possible if BlackRock could directly and indirectly have a massive say in changing Bitcoin underlying consensus mechanism from proof of work to proof of stake? And even if they do, is there a possibility for that transition to happen? I'll go ahead and share my honest thoughts and opinion on it. And finally, guys, regarding religious factors, I'll go ahead and discuss if Bitcoin is Sharia compliant and what are the religious factors and commonality in Bitcoin and religion, and how is Bitcoin particularly seen in the Middle East and quite a lot more. So this session, guys, is completely free of cost, and as I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, you can do pestellar analysis on stablecoin, you can do it on artificial intelligence. As a matter of fact, guys, the next session that I'm going to do might just be on artificial intelligence. And guys, listen, if you do have any thoughts or suggestions on this, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. And if you do want to go ahead and sponsor this session, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. So those were the news, guys, on the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website, www.blockchaindxb.com. And also check out my other website, area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Taylor who asks, what is the hype in Dubai right now? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it blockchain technology or Web 3.0? Now, to be honest, Taylor, right now there is massive hype regarding Web 3.0, and I'm quite active in some Telegram group. And what I actually did last week itself, Taylor, I did put out a post stating that I'm doing a series on why Web 3.0 is hype, and I requested some of the tech founders, CEOs, CTOs, and tech founders to see if they'd like to go ahead and have a healthy debate. And to be honest, the response has been relatively positive, and I've been speaking to some of them, and I do want to go ahead and release a series of episodes discussing if Web 3.0 is hype. And to be honest, right now, there is massive hype regarding Web 3.0, and me personally, I hate saying this, I don't think so there is anything called as Web 3.0. This whole terminology called Web 3.0 is just blown out of proportion. There is private key which is connected to your public key is connected to your public address. That's about all, to be honest. And then you have the Merkle tree, and people truly need to understand what open blockchain is, and then understand what blockchain trilemma problem is. And in the series that I'm going to be releasing called as this Web 3.0 hype, I'm going to be discussing some of these elements, and then I'm going to be comparing it with the projects that they're building on. And I hate saying this right now, Taylor, there is massive hype regarding Web 3.0, and there is hype regarding artificial intelligence as well. Now, regarding artificial intelligence, I do have to admit that there are actual use cases, and it is no longer in just in building phase. If you look at Deva, they already have a project which has completely gone live as well. But in case of Web 3.0, for almost a decade, all of these projects are still in the building phase. Now, the hype regarding blockchain protocols and DeFi has definitely died down. Now, Taylor, if you would have asked me this question, let's say in 2019 or 20, hands down it was DeFi. Every second project in Dubai and even in the entire world had to do with DeFi. The hype regarding DeFi right now has completely died down, and then there was massive hype regarding NFTs. The hype regarding NFTs was also blown out of proportion, and I used to see so many misleading and incorrect information regarding NFTs. But if you were to compare it, let's say regarding DeFi, NFT or Web 3.0, I have to say that the hype regarding DeFi was definitely much significantly higher than, let's say, NFT or Web 3.0 combined. But right now there is massive hype regarding Web 3.0, and when Facebook changed the name from Facebook to Meta, at that point of time there were so many projects regarding Metaverse. But what I'm noticing right now, Taylor, is in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I'm hardly finding any news regarding Metaverse, absolutely none to zero news regarding DeFi. And what I've been noticing, Taylor, is there are certain companies and certain individuals, they just go along with the hype. And I know a few key people, when DeFi was on its prime, they used to write articles about DeFi. When Metaverse was in hype, they used to write about Metaverse. And now because Web3 and tokenization is going to be in hype, I'm pretty much sure they're going to be writing about that. Now, to be honest, I think that is a great idea because you're going ahead with what the market is demanding right now, isn't it? But at the same time, I'm pretty much sure they're luring investors as well. But to answer your question, right now, the hype is definitely regarding Web 3.0, followed by artificial intelligence. The hype regarding NFTs and DeFi has completely died down, but I wouldn't be surprised in the next coming months, let's say 3 to 6 months from now, there are going to be a lot of projects talking about tokenization. Now, if you do go ahead and attend some of these events, some of the OGs do talk about privacy-related things, but look, if you look at the numbers so far as privacy coins is concerned, particularly Monero, Zcash, the numbers are just not there. But so far as privacy-preserving protocols is concerned, there is definitely legitimacy to it. There are a lot of technological concepts, but so far as user adoption is concerned, I don't think privacy-preserving protocols has a promising future, particularly in Dubai or even in other countries, to be honest. Because look, the governments can definitely, directly or indirectly, go ahead and have severe restrictions on it, and they can go ahead and put severe restrictions on centralized exchanges that go ahead and deal with them. But definitely an excellent question, Taylor. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website, www.blockchaindxb.com. And also check out my other website, area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes in the Crypto and Coffee a Date works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.